It's known as the sport of kings, and all across Asia, after years in the slow lane, horse racing is slowly getting back in the saddle. In Vietnam, local companies are courting foreign investors to take a chance on the racing industry. I discovered how enthusiasts are betting on a brighter future, despite a myriad of hurdles. Every gambler dreams of striking it big at the races. The stakes are high, and so are the profits. Asia's premier racing club has an average turnover of $10 billion a year, figures that have made the Hong Kong Jockey Club the envy of other racing organizations, even those in the unlikeliest of places. It may be the sport of kings elsewhere in the world, but in communist Vietnam, horse racing is a humble sport. The Phu Thơ Turf Club in Ho Chi Minh City is Vietnam's only horse racing organization. Tran Van Ngoc manages the dilapidated club, which doubles as a soccer field.
Most of the gamblers are from Ho Chi Minh City, but there are lots of people who live outside of the city who come here. It's become a tradition because they have been doing this for a very long time.
Originally built by French colonialists in the 1930s, the Phu Thơ, or Prosperity Club, became a sports ground when the communists defeated South Vietnam in 1975.
There was a hiatus in horse racing in Vietnam from 1975 to 1989. Since then, we have been trying to improve the sport, the breed of horses, and the races that take place at the club. The number of horses being bred for racing has multiplied, and we now have about 150.
But you won't find thoroughbreds here. Instead, punters make do with smaller farm-raised horses for the 7 races on offer at weekends. It's a special Saturday for Bui Van Ngoc, whose family has been breeding horses for generations. On this day, his racehorse has won the prize purse of $100.
I have been following horse racing for so long. Finally, at the age of 82, it's the first time I can collect the top prize. It's a real honor, and I'm very proud of my horse.
Officially, betting is illegal in the country. So punters play a so-called horse racing lottery, buying tickets that provide a combination of possible first and second place winners. Club officials say it's a fair system that brings in $1 million in tax revenue every year for Ho Chi Minh City. Phu Thơ officials have high hopes for the race club. They'd like to see the sport in Vietnam upgraded to international standards. But the odds of that happening aren't high. There are serious political, financial, and social considerations. Critics have charged that the racing lottery is fixed, adding that bookies are allowed to take illegal bets on the premises, as authorities turn a blind eye. Some vets have also alleged it's common for horses to be doped to fix races. Club officials refute the claims. They maintain there's a bright and untarnished future for the sport in Vietnam.
We are now looking for a partner in upgrading the horse racing club here. In the short term, we hope our standards can improve, so it can be like other racing clubs in Asia.
Officials admit that won't happen overnight, and nor will their aim of cultivating world-class jockeys. In Vietnam, the minimum age for jockeys is 14, but welfare advocates fear children as young as 8 or 9 are used to race horses. There are roughly 30 jockeys at Phu Thơ. The ones we talked to told us they were 14 years old and that it was their choice to become jockeys. Orphan Win Tan Trung has been a jockey for about 6 months. He says the club pays him $7 for every victory.
Every time I ride and win, I get money. If I lose, I get nothing. My future depends on my weight.
His future is secure for now. Trung weighs 60 pounds, well under the maximum weight limit of around 80 pounds.
Jockeys have to meet our criteria if they want to race here. They're picked from a group of children from the horse racing areas like Zikwan outside the city. Our standards are regulated. They have to be at least 14 years old and meet the weight requirement. We don't think they're too young. We disagree with all the criticism.
As do parents like Ho Thi Tu Tu. Her 15-year-old son, Hun Quoc Win, is also a jockey.
A
few people and my friends say this is dangerous and not good for my son, but it doesn't bother me. He's following a family tradition. His grandfather raised horses and he loves riding. He makes a good living, is even more than his father.
I think it's natural for parents to be with their children who are jockeys. There is a risk of an accident happening. Also, they get the money for their son's work.
It's work that pays good dividends for the club, the jockeys, and their parents. That is, as long as the thousands of punters continue to bet on a lottery that some say is riddled with corruption. And for those who do manage to beat the odds, horse racing will continue to be a gamble worth taking.